Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Fit Friday with Fit Girl. Today's topic of learning for y'all is about the plantar fasciitis. Now, I do know that a lot of y'all suffer from it. In fact, many years ago, I had a lot of problem in the plantar and I did not know how to overcome it. So I was very hysterically running to physios all the time. Now, I do understand that at this point, we don't have the access to get to physios. But if you are suffering from this problem, I think we can have some home remedies and exercises that I would like to teach you. Also, basically make you understand where plantar fasciitis really is, because a lot of people keep complaining of heel pain, but they don't realize that the plantar fasciitis is a tissue that runs through the entire foot, attaches over here but runs through the entire foot. It is a band of tissue that basically inflames. That's why it gives you pain. Now, there are several reasons why this pain comes about. Of course, runners will have it at some point. Not everyone, but if your ankle mobility is poor, then definitely you are heading into that. For those who stand for long hours, I would also say for people who are overweight and a lot of pressure goes into their foot. But most importantly, and this is something I learned from Paul, that if you don't have correct movement, then you are going to suffer from this kind of pain in time. And I have learned that ever since my ankle mobility has gotten better, I have actually started having lesser and lesser foot pain. So I have been speaking so much about ankle mobility over these last few weeks. You'll have also seen that my program includes a lot of hip flexor mobility exercises and a lot of hamstring opening. So today I want to show you all something that is going to actually help you release this calf muscle. So you're going to need some cream or a lotion. At the same time, I also want you to focus a lot on your ankle mobility. I will show some exercises pretty much different from what you would find on YouTube or Google. When I was researching on it, I went through quite a few videos on plantar fascia on Google, and I realized that they were typically showing the same exercises of rolling your foot on the ice bottle and doing a little bit of work for the toes, which I think is great 100%, but I think it is also very, very important that we start mobilizing this ankle at the same time with the hip. So if you are suffering from plantar fasciitis, then I hope this video helps you. And I hope every physio watching this does not judge me, because this is clearly my understanding of plantar fasciitis. I will try to not give any wrong information because I never adhere to that. But if I have missed something, then please contact some really good physios. Paul, well, he's not a physio, but he's really fantastic. He will be able to help you better. Niranjan, who has been my physio for the longest time. John Gloucester has also been very, very helpful through my entire career of track. So these are the people you can get in touch with who might be able to help you with a deeper analysis and knowledge on the subject. But I want to do my best in helping you all at this point of time where you don't have a physio available. Okay, so we're ready with our lotion, cream. Now, typically what happens in plantar fasciitis and why it hurts a lot is because we have poor ankle dorsiflexion. There is a lot of tightness in your calf, and of course there's a lot of tightness in your hip. Now, I learned this massage technique from Gavin when I used to train in Australia. And he always used to say, if you want to get rid of a lot of pain from your body, keep massaging your ankles, your foot and your calf. And when I was in Sydney, I was quite religiously doing it for many years. And then of course I got a bit lazy like everybody else, so I stopped doing it. But in these last few months, ever since my ankle mobility has started getting better, I am actually doing my massage therapy every day on my own. So this is a very simple technique that I learned with Gavin when I was in Australia. You just want to kind of rub everything, like keep it nice and supple. Okay, use both your hands, just gently press into it, very gently, right? So this is the inside of your calf. It's a band that runs all the way from here, from the top of your knee, all the way down and attaches here into your Achilles. So you also want to give a little bit of freedom here to this area, because the Achilles gets tight very, very quickly, especially if you're a runner. Okay, from here we go into the foot. Now the foot can have different kind of motions, but I prefer to do circular motions here. This will change over time. This is not going to go overnight or just as you're watching it and doing it. No, this is time, patience, and you can run your hand through that heel, like completely get into that heel. Obviously know how much pressure your body can actually take or put, and don't overdo it, because that might ruin it for you. So just very gently pressing into it. Okay, going back here, gently, gently, gently. You can also run through the bottom. Very important that you run your hands down, down. Use that thumb to really push it down, push it down, push it down. Remember that there are many nerves attached to the foot, and that's why we've recommended people to not foam roll their foot on that little ball. Instead, use your hands to actually press into it. So be gentle on your feet, don't be too harsh on it, because these nerves can be quite sensitive. And make sure you're really digging into all the sides of the foot, because this is basically giving them the freedom of movement which they're typically supposed to have, which we have restricted to giving them over a long period of time. So now is the time for you to actually release it. From here we get on to a couple of exercises which I would like you to do every single day. They're targeted to improve it will help you stretch the foot out, at the same time increase your ankle mobility. This exercise was taught to me by Paul when I was in Dubai last year, and I thought this was one of the best ankle mobility exercises that was completely changing the game for me. You want to watch this posture very, very carefully. Your front foot is going to have the heel off the ground, and watch the back foot very carefully. The heel and the entire foot is very strongly grounded. Once you've gotten your knee into that flex and extension position, then you want to very gently move your hips side to side. So while we are working a whole lot on the ankle, there is still a lot of movement going up the chain, which is your hip, and now slowly we'll be turning that spine side to side, because also from everything that I've understood, the spine and mobility of the spine needs that same amount of work that the ankle needs. So this last stretch is giving you that deep, extensive twist into the spine, hip, and the ankle. Slowly moving on to our next exercise, which is kneeling down on your knees. Make sure that all your toes are digging into the floor. Now, once those toes are digging into the floor, you have to pay attention that as much as all the four toes go into the ground, the big toe must also be digging in. So with both your palms, press your heels towards each other into the center. And when you start feeling that big toe digging into the ground, gently keep taking your hip up, thrust your pelvis up towards the sky, sitting down, constantly aiming on the fact that your palm needs to be pushing that heel into the floor. That way you get a deep stretch into the entire bottom of your foot. I learned this with Gavin, and this exercise is called the happy baby pose. This is very different from what we do in yoga, but I want you to watch the ankles very carefully. They are again in dorsiflexion position, where your toes are pointing up and your foot is bang straight into the wall. You want to have your knees bent and make sure that you're sitting very comfortably on both your sitting bones. Once you're sitting comfortably and you see the alignment of the leg, your ankle, knee, and hip are all in line with each other, very gently start giving that little bit of movement, which is basically compressing your hip with the foot into the wall, and giving your spine the length, at the same time working very extensively into that dorsiflexion. So keep doing this for about 4 to 5 counts. Breath is very relaxed. All you want to focus on is pressing the foot into the wall at all times, and keep imagining that you're going to carry a baby, or you're going to lift up to carry a baby. Now this is a very simple exercise. This is just digging that big toe into the wall very comfortably, digging that toe into the wall and allowing that inner chain just below the big toe to completely stretch out. This is a deep stretch of your big toe. Just a little more deep extension into that foot, taking all the way up. Your heel is like literally shooting into the sky, pressing those toes into the floor, and keep pushing that heel up, giving yourself a deep stretch. Last but not the least, and this is a stretch that we are all very used to doing after a run. But here again, if you watch the right leg, it is still in dorsiflexion, allowing your ankle to be in that position that is still giving length to the Achilles. If you watch the leg that is being stretched right up in a 90-degree angle, that is the left leg, it's giving a little bit of extension from the knee, bending it, and then again you pull your toes towards you, flex it, pull it up, flex it, pull it up.